know what time it is.
How it all works.
Come on.
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 We are back, family. We are back with yet another episode, live episode, season. What is this? Season number 4, season 5? I can't keep count. But we're glad to be back, y'all. What's going on in the comments? Let me know when you're watching, where you're watching from. Where you're watching from. I see Silverhead Fitness is in the comments. Says much joy, everyone. Good to be here. I saw somebody else's comment before, but I guess that maybe that was from a different live show. I don't know. It's just sitting right here. Quan59 says, guess who hasn't been on your show? So we got some comments coming through now. Egwu, what's going on, brother? Thank you so much for coming through. Silverhead Fitness says she's watching from Wisconsin. G. Albert said, sorry, I'm a tad bit late. Nah, G. Albert, you're in good time, my friend. You're in good time. Go ahead and take a second right now to go ahead and share, if you can. Share. That's going to help out all of us. We're going to get this information out to as many people as we possibly can. I am excited because a new season means new things, means we're going to give you guys some, a new little lineup, and you guys can let us know how it goes. You can let us let us know how it all works. Listen, we want to show you our announcements. Oh, GP says watching from Virginia. Got a chance to see GP this weekend. What's good, fam? Thank you so much for coming through. We're going to share our announcements because, that's what we normally do. We have the announcements. Got to have the announcements, but we also have a new segment in the announcement time, which is our, what's this called? News, live video news, live video highlights. We're going to get into that in just a second. Just pulling up my chat here in another window, so I have it firmly in front of me. Dave's Dimensions says, first time catching your live stream, found you from your EV Mux videos, Buffalo, New York. What's going on? Dave's Dimensions, thank you so much for coming through. Yeah, EV Mux is a game changer. Definitely excited about it. David Hunt is here, making his presence known in the chat. That's anything you see with a blue wrench in the chat, y'all. Those are my people. Those are my mods. They're getting it done. I got a ton of links for them. In fact, with that said, let's get into our news. All right. Next up on the news, fam, there's a lot of live video news. A lot. I mean, when I say a lot, I'm talking about a lot of news out there. You can see some of the headlines on the screen right now. Some of them you're going to be able to make out, but we're going to show them to you in just a second, right after we get through our announcements. Listen, fam, the book 31 live streaming tips to grow your audience, still available for you guys out there. Definitely something we want to make sure you guys get a chance to take advantage of, because I'm telling you, it will help you to level up. I see 18 people on the live, loving that. Thank you guys for coming through. Still let us know where you're watching from in the comments. This book is available not only on my website, and mods will put it in the chat, but it's also available on Amazon. And if you do get it from Amazon, please consider leaving us a review. We'd love that. All right, next up we have, it would help if I had my cheat sheet in front of me. I gotta have the cheat sheet in front of me. All right, next up we have merch. Now you're seeing I'm wearing a black shirt today. And the reason for that, is my shirt hasn't come in yet. The shirt on the right, if you're looking at the screen, it's the shirt on the right is the shirt that we've been designing, and it says build on your intellectual property. Build on your intellectual property. Your intellectual property is what you have, what the experiences that you have lived through. We're encouraging everyone to build on that, And I would love for you guys to grab that shirt. Head on over to howitallworks.com/shop, howitallworks.com/shop to get your shirt. This is the lineup, our new lineup of shows right here. Our new lineup of shows, first Mondays, How It All Works live. Let's peek behind the veil. Let's take a behind the scenes look at different fields, different disciplines, different vocations, and get a feel for what they do, what makes up a typical day for these people. Mid-month huddle, that's our live video Q&A. We got Monty Weaver coming through next week for that. Convos and Collabs is our third Monday, and that's going to be Justin Moore. If you don't know who Brand Deal Wizard is, he's going to be a guest on the show third Monday of September. Make sure you keep it locked. We do studio consultations every Wednesday on Amazon Live, so if that's something that's interest to you, let us know. I see Melissa Ray in the comments saying good evening from Louisville, Kentucky. Thank you so much for being here. Melissa Ray is in the comments, y'all. Love it. Next up, we have our I want to share with you another launch that we have, right? Another launch is our podcast. So we were doing our podcast before as a repurposed audio version of our live show. We are no longer repurposing the live show. So this is original content that's going to be on the podcast, y'all. So the first episode has already been released. It's available right there, already available for you. If you don't believe me, do you? I don't think you believe me. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you on a little field trip. Here it is. So this is my website, howitallworks.com. All right. So this is the site here, and you can see our show. That's our live show. That's the latest. This is our latest YouTube video. That's actually the next slide. And then this is the latest Amazon live video. Those are the latest videos on the page. But at the top, you see here at the top, it says podcast. So when you click that, it'll take you to this page. and you can see our podcast. And there it is, episode 1. How does perfectionism affect content creators? We had Alec Johnson come through from Take One Tech. Had a great conversation with him. You will enjoy. My guy JP High Tech is in the chat from Clarksville, Tennessee. Love to see it. Thank you so much for coming through, my man. So definitely want to make sure you guys get a chance to check out the podcast. It is going to be excellent. Definitely something excellent. Fred Jermaine Nayland says, good evening from Northern California, the Bay Area. Thank you so much for coming through. Excited to see you guys all in the chat today. Let's move on. Second Mondays when we have our mid-month huddle. That's our live video Q&A session. We also have our community meetup immediately following the show. So want to make sure that you guys get a chance to jump in. If you are somebody who wants to learn in a group setting, who wants to rub shoulders with like-minded entrepreneurs and content creators who are trying to figure out this live video thing, trust me, you want to get into the group. Links are in the chat. Get into the group, and next Monday we'll have our mid-month huddle and then the DIY video creators meetup. So we're excited about that. Excited to bring that to you. As mentioned before, this is the video for the, I guess, the week, right? So this is my latest YouTube video for the week, how to set up speakers and collaborators in EVMux. I want to make sure you guys get a chance to check those out. We always want to get those before you. The more you guys support those videos, the more the message gets out there, the more YouTube and the algorithm picks things up. So not only watch the videos, but go ahead and leave something in the comments. If the video helped you, hit the like button, and then, check out some of the links in the description. That always helps us, fam. So just giving you guys some breadcrumbs there to be able to get things set up. As mentioned before, the mid-month huddle with Monty Weaver, that's the flyer there. That'll go out this coming week. Excited to have him back on the show. And with that, I want to get into our news. Listen. YOLO Live. How many of y'all are familiar with this? Are you seeing this device on the screen right now? I know it's small, but if you can see it, this is the YOLO Live InStream. It's an all-in-one multicam vertical live streaming studio, y'all. Look, people, y'all should be going nuts in the comments right now. This thing allows you to natively, from this device, stream to TikTok and Instagram with your professional camera. Like, you can connect your camera to this device and stream to Instagram and TikTok. I mean, like, what? Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is what it's all coming to, man. You guys, I'm telling you. YOLO Live is killing it right now. JP High Tech says that was in my news feed too. Okay, YOLO InStream. Yes. I see good comments coming through today. Melissa Ray say, that's awesome. That's awesome. This thing, the picture that's on the screen is actually from Justin Brown from Primal Video. He's been on the show before. We're going to have him back, actually. And yes, Egu, I need that too. Like, I need one yesterday. This thing is a game changer. But I have more news. It's not just the YOLO Live. I want to talk to you about a couple other things, including live shopping. So Meta, AKA Facebook, has gotten rid of live shopping. Or so we thought. Guest in Fear says, how much? Meta got rid of live shopping, or so we thought. So they kind of clarified. They said that live shopping feature is no longer, you can still do live shopping on the platform, but there's a specific feature for live shopping that didn't do well. So they're getting rid of it. So it's a bit murky right now as we look at this whole live shopping space and seeing what exactly is happening there. I know as a remote producer, this has been a major source of business for me. So I'm interested to see what's happening in this space. And I mean, it continues on with the next headline as well. Despite investments from tech giants, live shopping is still struggling to take off in the US. It's going gangbusters in China. So why is it not working here? We don't know. Maybe that's just not our mode of shopping just yet. But I think if we just stick with it, to a certain extent, it's still going to take off, I believe. I'm just believing that it will, especially as we look at ways to be able to stream to platforms like TikTok and Instagram. It is going to be awesome. And here is another headline. So most of you guys already knew about the YOLO InStream, but did you know that Instagram is looking at a plugin, a StreamYard and OBS desktop plugin for your browser that would enable you to stream to Instagram? Come on. This is the news, y'all. Come on, talk to me. Talk to me. This is the news, y'all. What do you think? This is a game changer. I'm not an OBS user. I still have a StreamYard account. So yeah, a StreamYard desktop integration that would allow us to live stream. I mean, Egu, come on. David Hunt, come on. Talk to me in the comments. Gary Jones, Justin Pierre, talk to me. Kenique says it's about time. You see what I'm saying? Everybody is on this. This is the news, y'all. This is the news. What's hot in the streets for live video? What is hot in the streets for live video? How many of you guys are going to be watching the Sony announcement tomorrow? The Sony announcement tomorrow. Sony's rumored cameras suggest video is now its biggest focus. Sony's 4 rumored cameras. Now, I don't know if you can see it on the screen. What's going on, Kerwin Bornell? What's going on, Lakia? I see those fire emojis in the chat, Melissa Ray, but I don't know if you can see it on the screen. But on the screen, what they have there is a Sony PTZ camera, and it says something like cinematography meets robotics. This is the title of their announcement tomorrow, September 6th at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So I don't know what y'all will be doing at 10 a.m. tomorrow, but your boy is going to be in the Sony announcement looking up this news. This is the news, fam. I want to make sure you guys got a chance to see some of it. I am always reviewing different. Come on, JP High Tech. I see you in the comments. Dave's Dimension says streaming to FB, YouTube, Instagram would be a major leap for a lot of small YouTubers like myself. Hashtag growth. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Nice. All right. Listen, PTZ is on a come up. If Sony's getting in the game, and you know Sony's a big player, all my faith-based folks who have been using PTZs, this is going to be interesting. Andrea Balagan says, interesting. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now, I'm always reviewing platforms, and one platform that I have reviewed in the past and keep going back to is a platform called Melanap. And I want to show some things on. I'm just putting these on the screen as headlines for you guys. You can now do multiple cameras in Melanap, so you can connect more than one USB cameras to your computer and bring those into the web-based studio in Melanap. That's pretty cool. You can actually have 12 participants on screen. I don't know why you would want to have 12 participants on screen, but that's what they're saying is one of their new features. And then the last one, is there a drum roll? The last one, they have a built-in teleprompter function in the streaming platform. Like, how would that help you? Let me know in the comments. Listen, the news has taken much longer than I anticipated. Let me get back to it after we're done, because I have my guests waiting backstage. But let me tell y'all something, man. The news, if you aren't catching the headlines, you're going to want to make sure you keep up with what's happening in this live video space, especially as it pertains to your business, your brand, your side hustle, as it pertains to your content creator journey, your live video journey. However you are leveraging these platforms, these tools could be the missing piece that you need in order to get over the hump, in order to make everything make sense, as they say, right? So wanted to make sure we get this out there for you guys, but I am extremely excited about our guests for today. The marriage coaches, man. I'm excited about our guests for today. We're going to talk about their unique journey to becoming. Antoine Speller's in the chat. Gary Jones is in the chat. David Hunt, I see you guys. GP is in the chat. You can interview the disciples. How cool. The 12 disciples. GP, you always have some jokes. But I am so excited about John and April Nixon. They are our guests for today. We're going to be focusing in on how to develop camera confidence, but we're going to do that by taking a trip through memory lane and understanding a little bit more about their content creator journey. Excited to dive in right after this. Y'all are up. There they are. I'm excited to have John and April Nixon on the live. It's overdue, y'all. Overdue, folks. In the comments, let's make sure we give them a virtual applause. Let's make sure we give them a how it all works welcome. Let's make sure that they feel warm, I see 25 people watching right now. Excited that you guys are all here. Hope you enjoyed the news. John and April, what's up?
Hey,
Oh, that news
how
was
you
actually
doing?
good, man. Some
It
good stuff on
was.
there, man.
No, I'm
Oh,
That's
excited
Sony
about
joint.
some of that.
I might join that joint tomorrow too. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, the news is serious, man. The news is serious. Yeah, man. Listen, there's a lot happening in the space. That's all I can tell you. Is I was trying to choose which ones to include. I was like, I can't include all of these, but the news is crazy, y'all. The news is absolutely
I know it's
crazy.
hard. I know it's hard for you, man, because you are the tech, all techies.
Yes.
So you always have your pulse of what's going on. I know you want to keep us abreast of what's happening too. So
Oh yeah,
it makes us. We don't have to like look around and find out. We can just come to you. You give us all the news.
Exactly.
Come on through. Come on through. We want to be your one-stop shop, man. We want to be your one-stop shop. But man, listen, I'm excited that you guys agreed. Excited to open up our new season with you guys on the show. Excited that you said yes, even though it's a holiday. It is a holiday, so I appreciate you guys. We're gonna try and get you out on time so you can get back to the burgers. I don't know if they're done. I don't know, but whatever the veggie burgers, whichever. We'll leave it there.
Yeah, pizza.
All right, we already had our pizza.
Man, listen, we always want to start off with this question to give you guys some time to really let people know my audience is in the chat. I know some of your audience is in the chat. I don't have 27 people watching regularly, so I'm excited to welcome some of the Just John and April audience in the chat. They know you, but my audience doesn't. So take a moment right now, tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your story, and what a typical week looks like for both of you. I know that last one is hard.
Let's see. Condense this all into quick. We met when we were like 13.
Yep.
And liked each other back then. And then ended up, of course, we were in different areas and ended up connecting back in college.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So dated for 3.5 years, got married. We've been married for 21 years.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2 kids, 17 and 15, a boy and a girl. And typical week.
Our week is basically revolves around the kids. Like basically whatever they have to do. It's not as bad just because John now just got his license, so he's been driving. So that's been good. But pretty much our lives during the week is just we're Ubers. You know what I'm saying?
So Sunday we have to say, okay, let's look at the calendar.
Yep. Yeah.
What's going on this week? Who has what?
Yep.
So
John's
we do that.
John's on the basketball team at his high school, and Julia's in the choir. So they both have different events they have to go to and stuff like that. They have friends, they have parties and things like that. So it's all that kind of stuff. So,
always.
And then of course we have day jobs. So my job is I'm a pastor and April's a teacher. So every morning, probably around 6:50 or so, we leave the house to go to our respective jobs. It just so happens my church is about a mile and a half from her school. It's actually, she teaches at my church school. So
it actually works
out pretty well. But we usually spend all day at the office and at school.
Yeah,
and
sometimes we eat at 6, sometimes it's like 8, 9 o'clock. So it just depends.
Life is just crazy. You know what I'm saying? All the time. You never know what's going to happen.
So what you're saying is it's pretty easy. I mean, it's just no, just joking. Listen, I think there's many people in the chat who can resonate with the hectic week. I'm glad to hear that from people like you who are a few steps ahead of us on this journey. Ours are 12 and 11. So I'm glad to hear that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. With the driver's license, but I'm not gonna lie, that Uber comment is real.
It gets worse before it gets better. Like you have like probably 5 years of, it's going to feel like every year is going to be more busy.
Oh man.
I remember when they were 12 and 10 and stuff like that.
No, it's like when they hit high school, that was like,
was it. It's going to change your whole life.
Yeah,
man.
that's it. You are really an Uber. But now that John has his license, it's better, except for the fact that he doesn't have his own car.
Right. That's the
so
only
we gotta get to that point, and then I think we'll be able
to. Yeah. Listen, that is awesome, man. That is awesome. One of the things that, of course, we just love to hear, people's, not only a little bit about the person, all right, but of course we want to hear a little bit about your content creator journey. You guys have a growing set of platforms on social media, on Instagram, YouTube, even Facebook, and that you are building an audience around this concept of marriage shouldn't suck. I love that from your website, by the way, right? I love that from your website. But talk to folks a little bit about, how did you get started in the creator space? Why did you feel like being in this space would be relevant to help people with the value, with the advice, with the wisdom, the knowledge that you have to share?
Yeah. So several years ago, while we were still in Atlanta, so April and I have been doing premarital counseling for like 20 years.
Mhm.
And there were a set of young adults that we were giving counseling to. I don't remember how many couples, but it was a lot. And they started coming to us saying, hey, you guys should have a YouTube channel. If you had a YouTube channel, we'd watch it. And we kept saying,
Like, nah. And what happened was, we did kind of a YouTube channel type thing at church. It wasn't YouTube, but
it was somebody
it was like
interviewed
interviewed us, but
and
it
they
was
recorded
very...
it, and then they put it on YouTube.
Right. So they were like, "You guys need to do something." Like, there's no way I'm going on YouTube. I was like, heck no.
Right.
I mean, it was like right away. I was like,
Yeah.
no way, we're not doing it. They were like, yeah, you really need to do that. So we kept hearing it every weekend. They were telling us, you guys really do it. They were like, we would edit for you. We do all these things for you.
Oh man.
I kept saying no.
So we met with a guy from our church who was our just one of our camera guys that did a lot of this kind of stuff, and he knew a lot about YouTube, and we sat down with him and just started talking about what it would look like if we decided to do something like this. And as we talked, we started to get excited about it, but we just told you about our schedules. We just didn't know how would we ever be able to do that. We didn't have the time. We didn't have anything. We didn't have any equipment. We really didn't have any money to buy anything. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot. So we just didn't do anything with it. And then we moved here. Here we are. We're in DC now.
So we moved to DC, and I was like, babe, I really want to do this.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm really impressed now that we should be doing this. I don't know what changed my mind, but I felt like, and I guess it was learning more about it, because of course you start researching.
Yeah.
And
you
so,
just start getting more comfortable with the idea the more you talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was my birthday soon after we moved here. No, it was about 6 months.
Yeah. Because we started our channel in 2019, like March of 2019. And that was when April had her big birthday, January of 2019. So I bought her a camera. I bought her a Canon T6i.
Okay.
And with the camera, I gave her like instead of a card, I like printed out a newspaper story, and the newspaper story was April Nixon goes viral on YouTube or something like that. I can't remember exactly how I put it, but
love it.
something like that. So I was basically saying to her, let's take the plunge.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
so that's what started it.
That's what started it.
It started in March, and it was pretty good. We were surprised. The first episode that we put out, our podcast is called Just John and April. That's the title of our YouTube channel as well. And the very first podcast, people liked it.
But it's funny because when we first did it, when we first recorded that, it was terrible.
It was horrible.
It was actually really bad. And I said, babe, we cannot put this out.
She didn't want to post it.
I actually sent it to my sister, and she was like, oh no, this is not good.
Oh, wow.
So it's just I can't go into all that happened, but we ended up like adding something that wasn't actually a part of it. No, we like recorded something later in the bed. And then it was crazy how we just kind of put it. If you go back and look at that first episode, you'll see where you see that it was edited where we cut it, and then we like walk out of the studio and we end up in the bed having the rest of the conversation because it was so bad.
Right. Yeah. We had the scrap we originally had.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But, we worked it out.
But part of the reason why I think April was open to the idea of us doing YouTube was that it was not live.
We could edit it.
Because we could edit it. It was okay with saying, okay, what we put out now is at least going to be something that I know we like because we edited it ourselves.
Right. We cut stuff out.
There was safety in the editing.
Yes.
But then that ended up taking most of the time. You know how it is, Kirk. We were spending so much time editing. Now we learned a new skill. We learned how to do Final Cut Pro. We had a vlog we were doing. We had we had this other thing we called Ask John and April. It was like a little short thing. We had this other thing called John and April's Kitchen Table. So we were coming up with all these different concepts, trying to come up with something that would catch fire on YouTube. And it allowed us to create more stuff and to get better at editing and all that kind of stuff. So it was actually a very good thing. But it was like a year of that. And after a while, we were like, yo, I don't think we can sustain this. It was like
it was
impossible.
not sustainable.
Right.
Not for what with our full-time jobs
Exactly.
and kids and all that.
Right. So Bobby Kennedy, you know Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby was running a live stream challenge one week.
We were actually in Atlanta at the time.
Were we?
We were visiting in Atlanta and we joined the challenge.
So we joined his challenge, and see, we had been hearing from different people, you guys should really learn to live stream because it would take less time. One of our guys,
come on.
His name is Mikhail. Mikhail was like, look, man, what you guys are doing is cool. I'm 100% behind you. He said, but I don't think it's sustainable. He said, you guys should at least learn to do it live. He said, even if you record it live and don't have it live streaming, that would be better because you wouldn't have to edit it.
And he was really trying to get us to do it because he brought us a couple of things and just like gave it as a gift. Like, okay, you guys need to
this
do
gonna
this.
help us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Look at
But
that. That's
again,
awesome.
I was like, there's no way we're going live.
Right.
There is no way I'm going to do something where I can't edit it.
Right.
So I was holding us back.
Right. So it was like that week where things were like, I got a critical mass where Bobby's doing this live stream challenge. And we said, you know what, let's just join it and see what he's talking about. So the first day he basically says, I'm giving y'all an assignment.
Yeah.
To all the people that he said, I want you guys to go live like tonight or something like that.
Right.
Go live this week, whatever it was. So we tried it. It was like the most exhilarating feeling. It was almost like a roller coaster.
Come on.
Because you're out there naked.
Yes.
You have no idea. It's like you're on a tightrope and you can fall. You can bust your head wide open. You know what I'm saying? but there was something about the energy of being live where the audience was in the comments. And so we got this new thing where now we call these, our audience, we call them chimes because they're chiming in the comments. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
And it just became and we love it. Now, so while we have a live show on Wednesdays, we haven't done it this summer because we've been, we moved.
We moved and everything. So, as you can see behind us.
Exactly. You can see all the boxes still back there probably. But anyway.
It looks great, by the way. It looks great.
Good. No, but what I realized was my whole thing was messing up. Yeah. I'm like a perfectionist. I didn't want to mess up. Yeah. I didn't want to, say the wrong thing or say a word incorrectly, and so when I did it for the first time, I messed up. And I was like, wow, that wasn't that bad. I just corrected myself. Or I said, oh, my bad. I didn't mean to say that. Or I just laughed at it and moved on. I was like, wow, this is okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So I kind of felt like it was more like having a conversation with someone.
That's what live feels like. It feels like you're actually having a conversation with your audience. You feel way more tied to them. Yeah. There are things that come up organically in a conversation that wouldn't happen if April and I were just talking in a podcast because, we'll have an idea and we'll sketch it out and we'll say, here's what we're going to try to hit tonight. And then what'll happen is the chimes will get in the comments and they'll take the conversation to a place that actually connects with them. And now it's so much more meaningful to the audience. And of course, more fun for us because we're talking about what they want to talk about. Yeah. And so huge. So there have been a lot of times where we haven't really gotten to all of the things that are in our notes, or there were some things we wanted to hit we didn't get to because it was just too much.
We're so okay with that.
We're fine with that, but it just made it so much better. And after a while, what would happen is, and it still happens now, our show was on like 9:00 at night on Wednesdays. And as you know, Kirk, as a pastor, I'm already doing prayer meeting on Wednesday night. So I've already did prayer meeting, and now I'm coming to do this. Bro, we get amped.
We wake up. I will be so sleepy. You hear me? Like
ready to
but
die.
As soon as we go
the
live,
camera
it's like
goes on.
Yes, and then we're up to like midnight because
we got
we're
energy afterwards. Yeah. So it's like one of the best things that could have happened. Now, one more thing that happened to us. Sorry, I don't know if we were going too long.
Oh no, you're good. You're right. Listen, you're doing perfect.
Okay, good. One more thing that happened to us is none of us knew that COVID was going to happen. And so we learned a skill from 2019 to 2020 that made us so proficient at editing and going live and all these other kinds of things that when March of 2020 hit and everything shut down, we were ready. We already knew what to do. In fact, we didn't miss a beat at our church.
Right.
Wow.
We just went home. I told all the pastors to send me these videos, and April and I and the kids. So, by the way, our children also know how to edit, and they were doing stuff all during that time. They started their own YouTube channels like that. So we were all editing things and stuff like that. So for the first 6 months of the quarantine, it was like our family, like
It was crazy.
putting together the show for Sabbaths that were going to be happening. I shouldn't say the show; it was really the
But
church
no,
service. But you know what I'm saying?
Because it's on.
Correct.
It's kind of a show.
So anyway, it was really, really, really helpful. It almost feels as though God set things up the way that He did. We thought it was just for us, and then we found out later on He had a much bigger thing in mind. And of course, many of our shows really took off during COVID because everybody was home.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like where we really created our audience, where it really began to grow. I think you had the same experience.
It's
and I think
almost word for word.
Yeah. And we didn't realize how many couples we could actually connect with.
Yes.
I don't know. I guess we just weren't seeing it like that. Like who are you going to be able to reach?
Right.
I mean, we have reached and come in contact with people that we never would have come in contact with,
Agreed.
and I mean, even through Instagram, the DMs that we get, and we're going back and forth with people who, I mean, it's just amazing how they have been helped just from us going back and forth on DMs, in our DMs, just to give them advice. They're asking us questions. And so I'm grateful that we've been able to, do this stuff because, just being able to connect with people like that is great.
I agree.
Wow. There's so much to attempt to touch on. I don't know that there's just so many pieces there that's absolute gold. I will have a field day with my video editor with this one after the fact because there's like all of the sound bites. It's like I didn't want to go live and then I did it, and then I was like, I do a thing with new clients where I say to them, there's a lot of things that I'm going to be asking you for, and you're not going to understand why. You're not going to understand what do you mean? What do you need that for? Don't worry about any of it. Let's have a meeting after your first show, right? Because I produce shows for clients. After that first show, it all makes sense because now they're like, oh, we should have had this. Oh, that's what you asked. Yes, that's why we asked for that. Right. And now they're all excited. These are people who didn't want to go. I had one guy, he's in the finance arena. He didn't want to do any live, none. The guy's like, I'll organize this 1-day seminar, bring in 4 guests, and in the 4 guests, I'll have them speak, and I'll just be one of them. So he gets on, supposed to close things out. The last 10 minutes of the quote unquote show, somebody asks a question, he sees it, and he responds to it. But when he responds to it, he just kind of settles into his normal mode of consulting. Like when people come to his office and he's telling them about how to manage their finances, he just settles right in. And before you know it, he forgets the camera's there. He's got things listed off. He's getting excited. People are jumping in the chat. After he'd finished, about 10 minutes into what he was doing, 5 people were in the chat saying, how can I have this man manage my money? I need him to manage my money. I need him right now. And so when we got off, he was like, Kirk, it's like fishing with dynamite. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. I mean, so I just love to hear those reactions. I want more people to hear and experience, the impact of live. And I think what April said at the very end there, I want to make sure the audience gets this piece. The one-to-many is so much more impactful. Now, I'm not saying that the one-on-one is not necessary. But there are things, base principles that we think everyone knows, they don't know. Period. And so when you're able to share them with a broad audience, those that are in the chat chiming in saying, oh my gosh, thank you so much, mind blown. Those are the more vocal folks. The folks who didn't type at all, they walked away completely changed. I can guarantee.
Correct.
But they just don't feel to type it. And this is the one-to-many makes that space even that much more impactful. So excited about your story and your journey. Fam, make sure you go and follow these 2. Follow them. I see you in the comments. Woo, I see you in the comments. Kerwin, Gary, GP. The comments are going nuts. I love it. Trust me, companies pay thousands per hour for this. This is what Woo is saying. I always love when Woo comes in because he always talks about those thousands. I love those numbers. Those numbers make me feel very good about my life. I want to throw this comment.
Go ahead. Money too.
Oh yeah. I listen. Wu is that guy. I want to throw this question on the screen for the audience. You may have heard both of them allude to this. There was trepidation. There was fear in getting in front of the camera, especially with it being live. Right. The safety was, as they said, in the editing. There was confidence and safety in the editing. And so here's the question. Here's the question for everybody. Does your general confidence, general overall life, personal confidence, right? Does your general confidence, life confidence, translate into your camera confidence? And here's as you guys go ahead and try to answer that in the chat. I had a good friend of mine, Quinn Conyers, was on the show, and she was detailing this experience. She was talking back and forth with somebody, and they were like, "Oh, I'm really not a speaker." Because I just me and speaking, to be up front and to do all those things. And so Quinn just challenged the person and said, "But you're speaking right now. You're actually talking to me right now." And it's interesting. I'm laughing. I'm enjoying myself. I'm having a good time. The difference is you feel confident in this space. You don't necessarily feel confident on the stage. And so when she shared that, I also shared, this is the same thing for live video as well. We all have ridiculously engaging, phenomenal conversations all the time. We have friends that will sit down and chat with, and you're like, man, that was so good. So many really great, amazing, deep things are shared. And what if you could have those experiences live? What if there was a cheat code that allowed you to have the same level of confidence that you feel when you're with your friends or when you're in your zone and you're going for it? What if you could translate that to when you're sitting here or sitting in your home studio in front of the camera doing a live show? Is there a difference? This is the tension in the question is there a difference? Does it translate? Does regular everyday confidence translate into camera confidence? I'm looking at the chat and I see a lot of people have taken a stab at it. Fred says, I'm sharing this with so many as you guys are speaking. Wu says Quinn is a master MC. You are correct, sir. He's absolutely mad. I glossed over that part. The J Vlog says fear is the mind killer. The only thing it does is hold you back. Thank you for that comment. David Hunt is agreeing, says facts. Kerwin Brunel says the fear of unknown sets in and they think they can't speak. But the truth is, of course you can speak. I mean, we just use these terms interchangeably, but we don't realize that the base of it is actually the reason why you it's like you have speakers and then you have, what's the difference between a speaker, a public speaker, quote unquote, and somebody who just talks to people all day long? This is a part of our everyday lives. If you work, you speak, which means you are a speaker, right? So Austin Humphreys is in the chat. Galaxy moving background. Oh my goodness. Let me not go down the rabbit hole with actually, Austin, it's a nebula. I want to just correct you. It's a nebula. It's a nebula. It's a rainbow. It's a 4K rainbow nebula. I just want to make sure that you get that right, Austin. But
it was good.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. This is the question that everybody has been waiting for. This is the title of our show. How does one become more confident in live streaming? Right? This is what I'm posing to you, John and April. Is it really confidence on camera, or is it more? Talk to us a little bit about your experience.
I think it's more.
I think it's more.
I would say you just have to keep doing it.
Get your reps in. I love it.
And I'm really going by my own experience because I'm very, very shy. I don't like to be on camera or in the front. I'd rather be in the background. So for me, it was like doing it again and again and again, realizing, wow, this really is not that bad. It's really not as scary as it looks. So for me, it's more than just the confidence that you have, because I think I'm confident. I'm just a perfectionist, and I want things done right. And I want it done well. And when it's not, it bothers me. I mean, I can't sleep at night when I know something wasn't right. I'll keep thinking about John's like, that's over. You know, that happened. You know, you messed up. It's over, babe.
Oh,
Like,
my.
"Yeah, but do you think?" And I'll keep asking him. And so I had to get over that by just doing it and messing up.
Mm-hmm.
And then seeing that the results, you mess up, people
Mhm.
might react, they might not, and you move on, you know. But I had to continue to do that. So I know the one thing that I kept hearing, and what's the YouTube guy? Sean.
Cannell.
Cannell?
That's it's Kirk's boy.
Oh
Actually.
yeah.
Think
So
media.
yes. So
Yeah,
it was
Sean Cannell.
Think
Sean
Media,
Cannell.
yes, that started us off really.
April was
with
watching a bunch of his
A
videos.
bunch of his videos, and the thing that he kept saying was just do it.
Mhm.
Just start.
Yeah.
Just
Mhm.
do
Yeah.
it. Just do it. And so I was like, man, so that's what really helped us. Just get out there. Who cares if it's not perfect? That's what he kept saying. It doesn't have to be right, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think it helped me realize, you know what, I need to put this wanting everything to be perfect to be able to get on there. And then that confidence, I think, will come as you keep doing it. So
That is so
that's
good.
been my story.
I think there's a direct link between your confidence and your competence.
Mhm.
And I think if people have a problem being online live talking about something, it
Yeah.
may be that they're not really in their area of competence, because I think all of us get excited about the thing we're competent in.
That's it.
The thing I do for a living may not even be it. There's something else that I'm passionate about, something else that I love, something else that I'm competent in. Usually I'm confident about that.
Yeah.
And you get anybody on the screen. We've interviewed, I don't know, 100 people, whatever, right? So we
Yeah.
have them on our show. They act one way before the show starts. They're nervous, all that stuff. We start asking them questions about the
Yes.
thing that we're talking about, and
true.
they open up with no problem. It's like, and then they're always amazed at the end. Wow,
Oh,
that went by so fast. It
Yeah.
wasn't as bad as I thought.
I think you'll have me back.
Yeah, it's because we talk about the thing you love so much.
It's true.
So
Right.
I
That's a good
actually
point.
feel feel like part of the issue is we're thinking too hard about the medium. You know, there's a lot of people watching and I can't see them. I don't know what they're thinking about me. They could be making fun of me on the other side while they're
Right.
watching me. I don't know. So there's a lot of that stuff. If you just focus on what you're competent in, I think your confidence will come. I think the reps make a difference, like
It
April
really
said.
does. Because if you see day 1 and then look at day 70
Right.
or
Yes.
episode 70, you will see
Yeah.
a huge difference.
Yeah.
You'll see a huge
We look back
difference.
at old episodes sometimes and be like, wow, we
Like,
were garbage.
Exactly. Right. And I mean, I don't think we're where we want to be.
we can have a TV
You know,
show.
but
I mean, you know.
I mean, I don't know. I also feel like, man, you said something and now I lost it.
What? The competence thing?
And see, that was another thing. No, seriously. I was
I love
afraid
this.
of this kind of
Right.
this
It would
is-
happen all the time.
This is what I was afraid of. To lose my train of thought. Because that's how I'll be thinking. I'll hear something somebody says, and then I go into what they say. I forget what I was going to say. And I'm like, what if that happens what if that happens live? Oh my goodness, you know. And after.
And it's happened live multiple
It
times.
happens every time because I'm always sleepy. I never have enough rest for my brain to function
Right,
at 100%. You
right.
know. So, and I had it and it went away again. But anyway, it'll come back. But I just feel like, you know, I think that is a great point. You know, what you're talking about when you're passionate. Oh, the thing I was afraid of, Kirk, was
Mhm.
what people are thinking,
Mhm.
what people are going to think.
Ah,
What are they going to think?
And I had to literally say, I cannot care about that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I can't care about what people are going to think about me. Whether they're going to say, man, she's corny or oh man, her laugh's annoying. Or, I mean, it's like little things like that. I'll be like, what if? I literally had to just say, you know what? I can't worry about that. I can't care about that so much that I will not go and do what we felt and what we feel the Lord has, you know, shown us that He wants us to do. You know what I'm saying? I
That's
can't worry
it.
about that.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big thing too, worrying about what people are going to say or how they're going to think about what you're talking about.
Man,
You know?
Yeah,
there's
that's
just
a big one.
so much gold that has been shared. I'm trying my best not to step in too early because it's like, oh my God, that's so good. There's something to be said for, number one, understanding your value proposition. For one of the things I want to say to both of you, first of all, I just absolutely love the story, but to John and April and to all those that are watching, make sure you check out this podcast episode that we have coming up, because that is Alex Johnson. He titles himself as a recovering perfectionist. He used to work in missile applications. And so he said everything had to be, you know, perfect, because in that line of work, right, it can't not be
Yeah.
perfect, because they could be,
Right.
devastating results. And so when he got into the content creator space, he had to find a way to turn that off. And so his channel is actually called, his YouTube channel is actually called Take One Tech, right? And the idea is, I give myself one take. So when I hit the record button, so he does all his prep work. This is what I love about live video. And what I don't like about produced video is that all the work for produced video is done after the fact. It's after you've recorded it, you go in post, and post can be 2 years. I hate that.
That's right.
I like live video. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I spent the better part of the day preparing for today's show because I needed all of the assets in place. I needed to redesign some things. It's a new season. I wanted to have a new background, different things. I spent the better part of the day. But once this video is done, once we hit,
You're done.
You're finished.
it's done. It's finished.
Yes.
It's over.
Yes.
And I just love that concept of what he's done. And he's built this whole system around take one. Just do one take, and you can knock it out. And then the other piece I want to share there. I'm listening to both of you, and I'm just in coach mode, man. It's you never want to edit yourself out of the content. Never edit yourself out of the content, because I'm going to tell you, people don't resonate with what's perfect. They not
don't.
resonate with perfect. They resonate with messy, with real. Like somebody is feeling better about this entire show right now because there are boxes behind you. No, I'm serious. I'm just gonna be honest. Somebody's like, oh, that's what mine looks like, and I didn't just move in last week. Mine's been like that for the last 2 years, and those boxes are still there. People feel better. Like this is the tension between because we're on camera. The idea, right? Now follow me, family. I'm speaking to the How It All Works fam as well right now. The idea is, because I'm on camera, this is TV. Because I'm on camera, this is a movie. And movies take months, sometimes years in post-production to get it right. I had an opportunity to be a background actor on a show recently. This is not a world that I think I could stay in, because there was for a 20-second scene, we filmed it 10 times.
Oh my goodness.
10 times. And it took about 5 times to get it right. And then we did it another 5 times just to make sure they got different angles. And this is what I keep on trying to say to folks. This is not live video is not that. Live video, the power of live video actually is the human component. And the human component is not perfect. It's not.
That's
it's
it.
not.
Right.
The storyline is literally, here's the whole gist. The storyline is, what do you guys want to talk about? That you want to have a great live show? Put together a topic that people want to talk about. Do some preparation in terms of nuggets of wisdom you want to share, and then make sure you engage the audience in terms of what they want to talk about. Great live show. That's it. And I think if we could, as you just said, if we could just get out of our own way at times to share with folks the unedited, like, the camera falling over and you can literally see me picking it up and trying to steady that bad boy. And I'm okay, we're back live. And it's now a badge of honor, because it's like people in my audience are like, but how have you been here long enough to remember when Kirk's camera fell over? Because it didn't always look like this, right? So those are the pieces, and we take them and we make them part of community. We do these things naturally in real life. It's just a matter of making that leap to online and engaging community in a way that is real, that makes people feel like I'm a part of. Like, I can't have HIAW go live and I'm not there, because this is my community. This is where I feel like I belong. Thank you guys so much for that answer. I'm trying my best to make sure we land on time. So I want to ask this last question. Is there a difference between live online and live in person? I know you guys are presenters. John, you're a pastor, preacher, teacher. Then April, you're also a teacher. So this means you guys are up front in person with an in-person audience regularly, probably far more regularly than you are online. Which one do you like better? Do you prefer one over the other? Are there skills that are transferable? What are you guys finding? Talk to us.
I think since we've gone live, I'm better live, like in person.
Since we started doing
Since we
live
started
online.
doing live online.
Right.
I
love
think
this.
so. And I think Yeah, I think it's
This
because,
is good. This is good.
becoming comfortable with something that I was afraid of. I'm afraid of being upfront, period. Anytime. I'm
Mm.
nervous. John is like, "No, babe, we good, we good." I'm like, "Babe, stop." I am nervous. Let me be. But we just did a live, few weeks ago.
we were
Um,
live in the Raleigh Durham area. It was actually Nightdale, but we did one of our seminars for a weekend. We did with a group of live couples,
Yeah.
and that we think was better. Okay, so we used to do live stuff all the time. Then, of course, the pandemic hit, and we started our YouTube channel. We hadn't done much live since starting our channel.
Right.
In other words, we've been doing boot camps and 30-day intimacy challenges and stuff like
everything's
that,
been
but it's all online.
Yeah.
We were meeting people on Zoom and things like that, and we got pretty proficient at it because it's harder to make something like that interesting online.
Mm.
So we had to
Right.
do things to make it way better, so that now that we went back to doing a live thing in person, we were much better at the relationship thing, I think, in general. So I think it was
Yeah.
way better
I think it was better
than it used to be.
than it used to be.
You know what I'm saying? When we did it
Wow.
live.
Yeah, but I
sorry.
would say that the thing I like about, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No. The thing I like about the live, though, is that I'm able to see people laugh. I'm able to see their reaction, and it
Yeah.
gives me energy. It gives me, I feel like we're better because we can see the reaction,
And that's what I was
and
going
we
to say
can
too.
hear the reaction.
So what we got really good at online
Come on.
was approximating what people were feeling.
Yes.
Even though the comments are there,
The
and we can
comments
see it through the
helped and stuff like
comments.
that, but we learned to figure out whether or not what we were giving was landing.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
But then when you're in person live with them, you can
You
see
get
it.
it right
You can
away.
feel it. There's an energy in the
Yeah.
room that it's like when we start talking about a particular thing, you can tell everybody's uncomfortable now. And then all of a sudden, all the discomfort goes away and now people are comfortable again. You can feel that. You
It's
can't feel
literally
that
an
online.
energy in the room
Yes.
that
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
feel. That I really liked that with the live.
So I would-
love to hear people laughing out loud.
Yes, me
You know
too.
what I'm saying?
So I would say I think I like that part better about in person.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think I like some things about online better too. Like one of them is I feel like there's way more opportunity for people to interact with
Yes,
you with
the
their
back and forth.
feelings and thoughts,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
there's a lot of personality types that would never say anything out loud in front of a group of people that would
Yes.
type it in the chat.
Yes.
Especially when we had our boot camps and stuff, we had
Oh,
this little
yeah.
private thing in Zoom where you could just type it to us specifically. So you're asking a question now that nobody sees,
Yeah,
and we're able
Yeah.
to say it out
Because
loud.
when we were live, people came to us later one-on-one and said, I wanted to ask you this, but I didn't want to ask it in front of
Oh,
everybody.
wow.
We never got that. We never got that online.
You know,
People just asked it online.
every so often live, like some people will contact us and be like, I wanted to say something in the chat, but I didn't.
Right.
But that we don't get that as much.
Mhm.
But live,
Yeah.
we always, even before, would get people that would come and say, I wanted to say something, but I was too nervous to say
Yes.
anything.
Yes.
But I like the going back and forth with people.
You're talking about the online live.
The online live.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm
yes,
sorry,
yes.
the online live. The
Mhm.
going back and forth. It's like a
Mhm.
conversation.
Mhm.
Yes.
When we're in person, you can't really have a conversation back and forth. I mean, the question and answer kind of is a time, but that's only like 10-minute question and answer.
Mhm.
The
This is
whole
so good.
show we can
Right,
have a conversation
exactly.
when we're online.
Yeah.
So,
So both have their benefits and both have their advantages, both have their disadvantages. I would say we would have said, if you would just ask us before we ever started doing anything online, which one is better, we would say hands down, in person's the best. In
Yeah.
fact, April and I, people used to ask us to do virtual
premarital
counseling. We said we don't
said
do that.
no. We would have
We-
people
we-
come and stay with us.
We
for
said
the
that's not
weekend.
effective. We're not
Just
going to do
so
that. It's
that
not
they could
effective. You need to
have
come. They would
in-person.
literally fly into our and spend
Yes.
the weekend with us.
Wow.
And
Wow.
then when COVID made us do it, we started realizing
We
this
could have been
can
doing
be
this all
effective. We just have to
along.
change this, that, and the
Yeah.
other, and now it can be effective. And man, we've had so many. We stopped doing it because we don't have time anymore.
We
but
really have no more time because it was so many we had them lined up.
we can't do it anymore.
Even though we were home, it really ended up getting too much because
Yes.
we had so many.
So we no
on-
longer
on
do
Zoom.
premarital counseling at all because of how effective it Too many,
you know,
too much. It would take.
the piece I want to chime in on, because you guys have answered the question and then some and then some and then some, because it's just, there's so much gold you're sharing here, and I think that the chat is a representative of that as well, just all the different comments that are coming through. But this is the part, family, that you got to be able to see the benefit of each mode and then offer it, because here's the clincher for me, at least for live. I just got back from speaking at a conference this past weekend in Virginia. That's where I got a chance to see Justin Pierre. And listen, man, I mean, it was a one session where I spoke, and then I did a panel. Normally when when I do that online, I just turn the camera off, and I'm in 2 seconds, I'm back with my family.
You're back in the bed.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I could be back in the bed, like not like that, having to go back to the hotel room, waiting for the Uber, and then going to the airport and being herded like cattle. Like air travel in the United States is trash. So what I'm saying is I actually love in person too. Let me hasten to add, man, I get my energy from in person. Oh my goodness. Because when I was on the stage on Friday and on Saturday, when I was on the stage, it was good. It was good. I get my energy from the audience, man. We had them doing the wave. We did selfies. I get my energy from in person. I love in person, but it does have a higher cost. This is what I'm getting to. It has a higher cost. That's always been the thing for me. I just feel like I can do a masterclass on Zoom tomorrow. Done. You guys sign up. I let you in the Zoom. I deliver the value. Done. But if you want in person, it's a different tier. This is what I love the content creator space. And this is what I want folks to walk away with. Yes, there's camera confidence, and it is a microcosm of your overall confidence. And it's about your fear and what you have believed. Honestly, if we shed some of that, we can just get out there and do it, right? But then there is also, how do we do the in-person and the online? How do we balance the two? And as a content creator, you simply put them in different tiers. And I love that, right? So I'm assuming, I'm not gonna speak for John and April, but I'm assuming that if somebody wants you to come in person, it's a different fee than you saw a point already.
You're correct, sir.
It's a different fee, and this is the whole content creator journey. So everybody, my Howard August family, you guys know for the past month I've been doing these solo sessions on live video strategy. So we started off with defining your brand, building an online community, automate, scale, monetize. Last week we did organic partnerships and sponsorships, and then third weekend of this month, third Monday of this month, I have Justin Moore coming on from Brand Deal Wizard to help y'all solidify those brand deals. But my point is, you've got to learn to build your tiers out. This live medium that we have here, this is gold for discoverability. This is gold. I'm going to say it again, for discoverability. This is gold for, 3 times deepens the impression for discoverability, right? You want people to discover you, right? You want people to find out that you're there, they can book you for the event, that they can bring you in for the session or the seminar, that they can actually have you come and speak for a workshop. You want to be discovered. You want to make sure you get in this online space, because discoverability, you thought I was going to say something else. No. It's about discoverability. You want people to discover you, you need to go live. Yeah. Your live stream is your digital storefront. What's up?
Kurt, also, you don't really exist unless you exist online. So somebody recommends you. Hey, you should have John and April. And they say, well, where do I find them? Oh, I don't know. They don't have a website. They don't have Instagram. They don't have
Right.
People literally validate whether or not somebody else's recommendation was a good one by just going to our YouTube channel. So you got to have it. You got to have some kind of online presence, or else you don't exist.
These days, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, I gotta read this comment from Fred Nayland right here. He says, I have this saying, and here it goes: over 50, brick and mortar; under 50, click and order. Come on, Fred Nayland.
I love it.
That's it.
We receive it,
sir. That's good.
That's good, sir. That is good. That is good. Man, listen, I can't thank you guys enough. We are over our time already, but I know you guys have a special offer for the How It All Works audience, and I don't want us to leave before you give that to them. So I'm going to switch over to your website right now and just talk about the challenge that you guys have coming up, this boot camp that people can sign up for their marriages. Go ahead.
So it's called the 30-Day Intimacy Challenge, and we created a coupon code for Kirk's audience, HIAW 50.
That's
and
correct.
That would be 50% off.
Yes, and you can go through we have 4 pillars of total intimacy that you will go through with us virtually, and it really builds your marriage, helps you to have more fire in your relationship.
It does.
It's not just the bedroom, and that's what we emphasize.
The bedroom will be impacted.
Just the bedroom, but it will be impacted by the things that are outside of the bedroom.
Exactly right.
So it all ends up working out in the bedroom.
Amen.
So it all works together. Yeah. So this challenge it's really good. So go ahead and
you can go to our website and check it out.
Yeah.
And you can see all the stuff there. It tells you exactly what's included and all that.
Yeah.
But 50% off until Friday. If you use
we want to make
coupon.
sure. So David Hunt has put the link in the chat, JohnandApril.com. And then he actually put the link to the 30-day challenge. And of course, Kanik has followed it up with the coupon code. My mods are doing a good work out there. Thank you so much. HIAW 50. So family, this will be in the show notes. This will be in the description of the video later tonight when I make sure I add that. I cannot thank you guys enough for coming through and just sharing. Here's the truth is, sometimes people are like, oh, you have John and April on, but your show is about live video. I'm like, yeah, but they have experiences to share. Oh, right. I never would. Yeah. And now, you know, at the end of the show, they're like, man, that was really good. Because that's, you know, as I often try to say to folks, man, live video is simply a vehicle, right? It's a vehicle. And as your coach, I'm trying to make sure you have your driver's license. I want to make sure you can drive this thing. I want to make sure you can take it to where you want to go. Because that's the whole point. Yeah. You are trying to make sure you can help people who need your specific help to enrich their marriages. Right? I love that. Well, live video is still a vehicle for you, just as it is for the finance guy that I'm working with, or for the guy who is working with there's so many different people, but this one guy, he does bling. You know, have you ever heard of this stuff, bling, where you take rhinestones and put it on all kinds of things? Anyway, there's apparently a market out there for that. It's also for the gamer. It's also for the speaker, the consultant, the preacher. Live video is simply a tool to be used, and we get to determine what happens when we use live video. And I just love you guys' story. I love how much it resonates with everyone else's, and I'm excited. We're gonna have to have you guys back, man. We got to do a follow-up to make sure we check in and see how things are going, man.
Can we say one more thing before we go?
Oh, please do.
We want to thank you. You have coached us a couple of times, and it's been very helpful. There was one time in particular where you happened to be watching one of our shows, and we had a guest on the show. I don't know if you remember giving us this advice. It was right after you said, it's a great show, really enjoyed it. And then you said, listen, whenever you're interviewing somebody, don't ever take your face off the screen.
Yes.
You said you can make it smaller, but don't. He said, we came to see John and April.
Yeah, we did.
And I was like, okay. I mean, I never thought about it. You know, once we go to the guest, I just put the guest on the screen. Yeah. Like, nah, we came to see y'all. And I was like, oh, okay. I never thought of it like that before. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So thank you. True. I mean, that was just one of many things.
One of many things, because we watch you and get so much.
The camera we're talking into right now. The microphone.
You.
You know what I'm saying? You already know. You know I'll be calling you for advice on what equipment to get and stuff like that. So anyway, so good luck. I got to give you your props so that people know you're our coach too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, I absolutely, you guys, I absolutely love that. I totally forgot about that. Well, as soon as you said it, I remembered the comment now. It's something that several people in the comments right now are saying, oh yeah, Kirk told me that too. Because I believe, listen, there is the constant for your live show is you. And in our branding episode, Defining Your Brand, I simply said to people, go and figure out who you are. Get a PhD in you and you'll figure out what your brand is, because your brand is you. And you want to make sure you give people a healthy dose of that. Hey, here's what I want to ask the audience. Let me ask it and then I'll give you the details. Can we have 10 more minutes? And I'm not going to keep you guys for the full 10 minutes, but I'm just asking audience, can we have 10 more minutes? If you don't mind us having 10 more minutes, just put a Y in the chat right now. Melissa Ray says, thank you. This was great. I'm going to take that as a yes. The reason why I want to ask for that is because John Nixon says yes. The reason why I want to ask for that is because I want to show a quick clip. I'm not going to show the whole thing, but I want to show a quick clip of a video that we have put together here on the channel. and we want to share this, just a quick clip of it, not the whole thing, just a quick clip of it. Oh man, there's a lot of Y's in the chat right now. Want to show this quick clip of what something that we have coming up on the channel. Some of you may have seen it before. We played it once before, but because John and April are with me, I want to show this clip. Here we go.
We're going. We're on.
Okay, now it's recording.
Okay, people consume content in different ways. Some like on-demand video where they can pause and come back later, go back 40 seconds to catch a point, or just skip to the chapter they really need. So that's how that works.
Right now, I'm standing in the home studio of my friend Kirk Nugent, and let me tell you, it's just amazing.
All right, y'all, I'm in Kirk Nugent's studio, figuring out how it all works.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Jade, back from Maryland, visiting the Nugent household. I've been away for 6 months, and it's good to come home to my family. Shout out to Kirk and Kanique and Kenzie and Carson.
All right, I'm Jaden Hines.
My name is Derek Nichols.
And the topic today is why the Lakers are better than the Celtics.
Welcome to the Dr. Corns podcast. I'm excited to be here today to share with you some exciting principles of health and wellness.
So first of all, I want to say from this location, welcome to Just John and April.
Even though this is not our studio.
This is not our studio. So this is actually the dream.
Hey guys, this is my princess Kenzie.
Hello.
I think one of the things that's most imperative about today's church is that we need to find ways to make the church progress in a manner that is effective to what's happening today. And I think that too many of our churches are behind the times. We argue progress as if it is a sign of the mark of the beast.
What's up, everybody? I'm in the studio for the first time, and I thought it was pretty cool to see Miss Jones back there. In her picture, she had a quote up there, and she would always talk about how you're supposed to have the end in mind.
All right, hi, I'm Kimon Hines, and this is
Janiyah Hines.
And we're here with, what's the name of your company?
Slade Proud.
All right, what is Slade Proud all about? Tell us about it.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Pastor Paul Goodridge. You can just call me Paul. Yes, I am from London, England. That's why you hear this weird accent. But I am the Get Unrealistic series from Oakwood University Church. But Kirk has taught me some new things that I'm going to try. And, we'll see what happens there.
And now we're standing in this space. Here's what's on my mind, though, as I think about Kirk and as I think about you. I wonder what the next iteration of this is going to look like as Kirk continues to believe not just in the brand name and the tech that surrounds me in this space, but continues to believe in himself. And if we pause, we got to think about, well, what does the next iteration for you look like? What could truly be possible if you start taking the next right action today?
Listen, I'm just telling you how impressed I am with all of the stuff around here, the setup. It's a clean look, and it's just a way for you to take your technology to the next level. So if you are interested in figuring out how it all works, make sure you connect with Kirk Nugent and Composition LLC. They will have you right, because when I leave here today, they're gonna have me right and broke at the same time.
Hey, thank you, man. Thanks for letting us come and be a part of this thing. This is seriously, like, how can we rent your studio? Do you rent your studio out to people? You do? Okay.
So
just DM
we need
Kirk.
to do like the whole next season.
That'll be dope.
Just come,
and
for a
this
weekend
season.
and
That's
just, spam record.
I want to know if I sound better on this. Do I sound better on this mic than I did on the other one?
I want you to bring the faith, the family, the finance, the fitness, the freedom. Bring all that together and begin to invest in it each and every day and make 2022 all things new. Until next time, take care. God bless.
Hold up.
I like this. I like this.
I thought you guys would like that. Yeah.
Did you ever use? Did you ever use the joint when we did it in your studio?
Oh, absolutely. Now you know.
Great.
That's only the first video. There are others. So that's another series that's coming to the channel. Thank you guys. Dr. Roby.
You need to do a thing on your content, man. You know
come on through, man. Come on through and visit, man. Come on through and visit. Listen, I'm glad. Thank you guys so much for indulging me for the few moments. I just wanted to share that since John and April are here and they helped to kind of anchor that video. I wanted to share that with you guys tonight. John and April, man, can't thank you guys enough for taking some time, hanging out with us, making sure that we get a chance to understand a little bit about what it's like to be, of course, marriage counselors and coaches, but also using the vehicle of live video to not only get your message out there, but to do it in a way that is real, that allows people to really sink their teeth into the value that you have to offer. And there is so much that you shared tonight, that will have impact for many members of my audience, and I hope for members of your audience as well. I want to make sure folks who are watching live and for my folks in the replay, make sure you share this with somebody, man. Somebody who is, sometimes you don't want to hear from an expert, right? So people look at me and they're like, oh, Kirk, this is you do this all the time. Now you're getting a chance to hear from people who are using this for their own business, their own brand, for their own content creation. And it's working. It's working and it's having impact, it's having meaning, and it's allowing them to share and to grow an audience in a way that they could not have done prior to. There's so many different pieces that we can drill down even further on in the conversation that we had today. But I just want to pause and say thank you to the two of you for your time, for your effort, for sharing with the audience, and we hope that we can have you guys back.
Thanks, Kirk.
Definitely.
We'll come back anytime. And,
Yes.
and hi, Andrew. He just said something in the comments.
Thank you guys so much. Don't go anywhere while I wrap this thing up. Family, man, listen, I hope that you guys got a chance to peek behind the veil. I hope you got some notes. I hope you got a chance to listen. If you are not following John and April, I hope that you are going to go out and do that today. Do that today. The link is literally scrolling in the ticker right now. Follow John and April, just johnandapril.com. I love it. Andrew Nixon says this is rich. G. Albert is in the comments, Silverhead Fitness. So many of you guys have really come through and shared already that this was impactful. Do us a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button as well. We have a lot of content coming, as mentioned. How It All Works, first Mondays, mid-month huddle, second Mondays, convos and collabs, third Mondays. We have our live studio consultations on Wednesdays on Amazon, and we have new series coming on the channel, and those videos drop every Sunday. It's your boy, Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher. Thankful for your time, your attention, your energy. It is your greatest commodity, and we do not take it for granted that you gave it to us willingly today. We will see you guys in the next video. Later.